Awesome. All right, go ahead and find just a comfy seat. We'll start there. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Allow them to fall down and back. Allow your eyes to soften, to close. Allow your jaw to soften. Notice if you're just holding your tongue or pressing your tongue onto the roof of your mouth. Let that soften just a bit. And just take a deep breath in. Can you trace your inhale all the way to the top? And take a long breath out. Notice that pause at the bottom. And do that a few times just to like soften the noise around you and start to just bring a little more awareness to what's happening within you. And trace your inhale all the way to the top. Empty all the way out to the bottom. And then maybe start to pair that with just like a 3 count. So breathing in for the count of 3. And breathing out just as slow, letting it match in length also for the count of 3. Breathing in for 3. Breathing out for 3. One more like that. Breathe all the way in. All the way out. And then just noticing how your body responds to just that moment of pause where you just focus only on your breath. And that mental chatter might still exist, and that's okay. Our minds are designed that way. So rather than judging yourself, just become aware of it and let that sort of hold that your mind has on you, just like soften it. Lessen that grip. So as you start to slow down the breath, you slow down the nervous system, maybe you take yourself from what was, a level 5 to a level 4 or level 3. We're going to pair that breath with just a little bit of movement. So take one more big breath in right here. Fill all the way up. Breathe all the way out. And get empty of breath. And then just slowly over the next few rounds of breath, maybe you start to like rock forward and back. Maybe drop one ear to one side and then to the other. Maybe chin to your chest. Lifting it high. Take just a few moments to transition to tabletop pose, hands and knees. You're not here too long, but just start to find that firm foundation in your hands. Spread your fingers nice and wide and start to maybe even tuck your toes under this time. And with your toes tucked, just gently rock back a little with your seat rocking back and then forward a little. Do that one more time, rock back. And then rock forward. And then come back to the middle. Keep your toes tucked under. You'll start to float your knees and lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now keep your knees really bent. And then just pedal out your feet one at a time. So bend one knee.
And then the other, maybe sending one heel closer towards the ground and then the other. Do that a few times. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Soften your knees even more. Maybe you can take your feet wider so you can just fold forward here. We call this ragdoll. So your head can drop, your chest can just drop. Weight of your head is heavy. And then bring your hands to your hips here. Find your halfway lift. So think about your heart and the crown of your head reaching forward as you breathe in. And then keep pressing down through your feet. Just stand all the way up nice and slow. Take a moment at the top to take your arms down along your sides, palms forward. Close your eyes again. So now that you're upright, I want you to revisit that 3 count in to the top as you breathe in. Maybe this time open your mouth as you let out a sigh, nice and slow. Breathe all the way out until you're empty. 2 more like that. Breathe all the way in. 3, 2, 1. All the way out. 3, 2, 1. Now this last one, hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Breathe in for 3, 2, 1. All the way out. 3, 2, 1. Start to open your eyes. Sweep your arms out and up. Take a big breath in. You'll reach really high here. Take your right hand to your left wrist and then lean over to the right as you press down through your left foot. And then you'll rise back up. Switch, so left hand to your right wrist, reach up first. And then lean over to the left as you press down through your right foot a little more. And then you'll reach both hands high as you stand up really tall, maybe even look up to your fingertips. And then take your arms out like a T, like the letter T. Start to flip your thumbs down. So think about your palms facing back. And you're going to slowly start to take your arms down along your sides. Keep your palms facing behind you. Press your palms back behind you. And then start to bend your elbows. I want you to cross at the wrists or cross at the hands, wherever you want to cross. And then take an inhale to lengthen the arms. And then exhale, cross again. Do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen it out, broaden through the chest. And then exhale, cross, palm over palm. And I want you to keep them right on your low back this time. Lift your chest, take a big inhale. And then bend your knees a little bit more and just fold forward. So keeping your chest broad even as you fold. Now find a halfway lift right here. Breathe in, reach the crown of your head forward. And then walk your hands, release them down. Downward facing dog. So you'll spread your fingers nice and wide. Soften through the knees. Take one big breath in right here. Open up your mouth. And then just drop your knees down to the ground. I want you to lift your heart, find cow pose on the inhale. And then exhale, press down through your hands and round your back, drop your head, cat pose. And then you'll slowly come back to neutral. I want you to sit back on your heels just for a moment. Walk your hands back and then up your legs. And then you just rise up. So your hips are right over your knees. Your toes can be tucked here. I want you to reach your hands high, take a big breath in. And then like you did when you were standing, arms out like a T. Thumbs point down, palms back. And take your arms down along your sides. Now stay upright in the chest. Think about the crown of your head lifting as you press your hands behind you. And then like you did before, bend at the elbows, cross at the hands or at the wrists. Do that just one more time. Inhale, straighten. And then exhale, you bend. Keep them there right on your sacrum and lift your chest. Roll your shoulders back, your elbows draw back, maybe even lift your chin. And then slowly come back down. Your hands meet the earth. Tuck your toes, float your knees, hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. Long exhale. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Land in that forward fold. Halfway lift right away. Hands to your shins or your hips. And then exhale, fold. Now again, halfway lift. Get even longer through the spine. And then stand all the way up. You'll rise. Sweep the arms out and up. Reach higher. Right hand to your left wrist, lean over to the right. So we just start to build a little bit bigger. You'll rise back up, switch the grip, left hand to your right wrist, lean over to the left. Now inhale back up through center, arms out like that T, thumbs point down, palms back, arms down along your sides. Just one time to press your palms behind you. Now bend through the elbows, cross at the hands. You can keep them here or start to interlace your fingers, pressing your palms together. You might keep this, and then you'll lift your hearts. Think elbows back, lift your chest, lift your chin, soften through the knees, and then keep that bind even as you fold forward. Keep that bind, halfway lift, reach the crown of your head forward, and then release it, walk the hands downward facing dog. Nice and wide stance here. Take one big inhale through your nose. Open up your mouth. Rise up to your toes. Drop your knees down. Tabletop pose. Lift your heart. Take a breath in. Cow. Exhale. Press down and you round. Drop your head. Cat. Come back into neutral. Tuck your toes if that makes you feel supported. And then you'll walk your hands back and up your thighs. Reach the hands high, take a huge breath in to rise, and then take the arms out like a T. Thumbs point down, palms down along your sides, press them back, and then interlace your fingers if you wish. Maybe pressing the palms together and lifting the heart, so thinking about squeezing the elbows back, shoulders back, chin lifts, and then use the belly to bring yourself back to center. Release your hands. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take a full breath in. Long breath out. Soften the knees a lot. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Right into that halfway lift. Big breath in. Bigger exhale to fold. This time, stand all the way up. You'll sweep your arms out and up. Right hand to your left wrist. Last time, lean over to the right. Back up through center. Breathe in. Left hand to right wrist, lean over to the left. Back up through center, inhale, reach your hands really high. Now start to bend your knees this time, like you're sitting in a chair pose. Take your arms out like that T, thumbs point down, palms back. Take your arms like wings. Now tip your chest forward and see if you can press your palms now up towards the sky. Now, keep lifting through the shoulders, bend the elbows, interlace the fingers. You might stay here or start to straighten the arms if that feels good. Don't try to muscle into it, just find what feels good. That opening in the chest, take one breath in. And keep that bind, think belly towards your thighs, and then you fold, maybe even separate the feet. Release that bind, halfway lift, hands to your shins this time. And then walk the hands last time, downward facing dog. Take one breath in to rise up to your toes. And a breath out to drop your knees, tabletop pose. Lift your heart last time for a cow as you breathe in. And exhale to round for a cat. Maybe even this time you lean back in space. And then slowly walk the hands up your thighs. You'll rise and you'll lift the heart. Now, sweep the arms out and up. You'll reach up even higher. Take your arms out like that T. The last time, you'll take your arms down along your sides. Start to broaden through the chest, maybe even interlace the fingers behind you. You can start to lift your heart here, but I want you to still press your thumbs into your sacrum. That's one option for camel. If you want full camel pose here, maybe you start to bring your fingertips up and you squeeze your elbows back. You lift your heart, you lift your chin. And it doesn't have to be as deep as you go. Think about your heart lifting a little higher. Take one more inhale. And then slowly use the belly to come back through center. Sit on your heels just for a moment. Hands to your thighs. If you have a block, maybe you bring it in between your feet. And take a breath in to fill all the way up to the top. Open all the way out to the bottom. One more like that. Maybe hand to your heart, hand to your belly, and you close your eyes. Breathe in. Trace it to the top. Open your mouth. Sigh it out all the way to the bottom. So nice. And then you can choose to stay here and just observe how that simple movement of just creating a little more space in the shoulders, a little more space in the chest, in the low back can feel good, even in the side waist. And then you get to choose what you fill that space back up with. So take a full breath in. Long breath out. If you choose to stay like this, of course you stay. Or if you are ready to just make your way to a different shape, swing your legs out in front of you, give them a shake. And take one shin in front of the other. So your right shin in front of the left. Take your hands behind you, tent them, and lift your heart high as you breathe in, maybe even the chin lifts. And then start to press yourself forward and just nice and easy. It doesn't have to be so low. I just want you to round and fold. So we've been finding the difference between flexion in the spine, like we are here, and then that extension in the spine when we're in a back bend, like camel. So just take one more breath right here. If you need any movement, maybe you rock side to side, and that feels good. And then you'll lift back up. Switch what shin is in front, so your left shin comes in front. Hands come behind you, they tent, and you lift your chest. Find that extension. And then exhale to fold forward to find that flexion. Long breath in. Big breath out. And then you'll slowly lift back up. Take your legs back out in front of you, but reach your hands forward. Make sure you have enough space behind you. And then you'll just slowly, one vertebra at a time, lower all the way down to the ground. Yeah, and then once you're there, take your arms overhead, point your toes forward, find a long body stretch. If that felt really good to hold on to one wrist and stretch one side, and then the other wrist to stretch the other side, take that. One more big breath in, pull everything apart, your toes, your fingers. And slowly just take your arms down along your sides and let your palms flip up. And now you get to rest for not too long, but enough time where you can just close your eyes and maybe use the inhale to trace all the way to the top, fill all the way up. And use your exhale to get a little bit heavier towards the ground and feel that support underneath you. And if you find your mind instantly wanting to wander,
See if you can find that just simple 3 count in and 3 count out until you feel your body respond, and then your mind possibly responds as well. Stay here for 5. Last 4. Final 3. It's 2. Last 1. And take your next breath in, let it be just a little bit bigger. Breathe out, find that ease a little bit longer. And then use your breath to start to wake up your fingers, your toes, maybe even rock your head side to side. And with little to no effort here, just bend your knees. Roll to the side of your choice. Keep your eyes heavy if you can. And press yourself all the way back up to a seat. Nice and tall, you'll sit up. Similar to how you started. So maybe just take a moment to observe. Maybe your body feels a little bit different. Your mind, of course, might feel a little bit different. After taking the time to breathe intentionally, to move with intention. And bring your hands together right in front of your heart. And just honor yourself for making that time to create space in your body, in your mind. And take your thumbs to the center of your forehead, letting this practice, no matter how simple or complex it might be, letting it always be a reminder to be kind to yourself. So then you can step off your mat into your world and share that kindness in your own way with others. Namaste.